My name's Russ Cook and I'm attempting to become the first person ever to run the entire length of Africa. This is where I started, this is where I'm heading, and this is where I am now.
I've run 8,203 kilometres so far and I've got 8,397 left to go.
So far on the mission.
I've survived alone in the desert, pissed blood, been robbed at gunpoint, thought I was going to be killed in the jungle, had my support van smashed to bits
and raised £88,000 for charity. In this episode, the boys visit a Nigerian footy game, we try Domino's pizza, Jamie gets attacked by a local warrior, and I face the worst injury of the mission so far.
Oh, we're going to go for these black ones today. Very smart.
Oh, look at them, eh? Fresh pair.
Coke are giving us the 2-in-1s. You've got the perfect shoe for running long distance, but you've also got a shoe worthy of making it to the club.
All right, Mr. 6 foot, is it that time?
6'2".
6'2"? That seems a bit much.
That's the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Right. Nice one, lad. See you in a bit.
Good luck.
I set off for another day on road with 70k in my sights, but as soon as I got on my way, the support car was refusing to start. The boys tried jump starting the 4x4 to no effect. Just a couple days after Nelly was a stone's throw away from the pearly gates, we needed her to bail us out yet again. With our 4x4 purring like a majestic Cheshire cat once more, James and Gus were able to set up camp at the 30k mark. However, I had my head down and my feet in flow state. I ran past the boys and we set up shop at around 34k.
Alright, how's it going?
Yeah, good, you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I must have just fucking ran past you.
How dare you be delirious when you're running 60k days? So if you're doing 70k days, ideally what will your stops be?
First stop at 30k, but have a little food top up at some point between like 15 and 22. One stop at 50 and then finish there at 70. Tell you what the Nigerians do really well.
So,
fashion.
Would you say Nigeria is the best swag out of anyone?
I actually would, mate. Just look at the fucking outfits these guys pull out. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Right, laddie. I'll see you in a bit.
In a bit, mate.
With 34k's gobbled up before noon, I had James and Gus hand over premium scrans and fluid throughout the remainder of the day. If I were to inhale a total of 70 big ones before dusk, we'd have to work together like a well-oiled machine. Less time on stops, more time on tarmac. It was over to Stan and Jamie to find the team a place to kit for the night.
We're following 3 very confident men to an alleged campsite. I'm not sure where we are.
I don't think we're going to fit down there.
Give it a go. Hey!
Trying to find a safe place to stay for the night can be challenging, but thanks to these welcoming, friendly locals, they assured us that they'd look after us here. With the longer days coming to a close, all the boys arrived at our campsite safe and sound.
What's up, bruv?
It's quite a scary thing to see, I can't lie. Just looming out the darkness. So, 70k.
70k.
This is the one time when I am actually going to ask, how are you feeling?
Yeah, keep getting like shooty pains up the back of my spine.
Ooh.
It's not very nice.
That's not fun.
If all goes to plan, we're like kind of 100 days or less right now. So 100 days or less, that kind of sounds like turn the needle in to me.
Yeah.
Turn that screw in, do you know what I mean?
You're going to bash.
Right, let's just up, do you know what I mean? Let's just up all the way up.
Yeah, I mean, you still got half of the distance to go as well.
That's negative self-talk, that. My back still is pretty fucked. I think I'm going to have to start stretching more, try and loosen it up. If I'm not running and I'm like just stood up or I'm sat down with my legs below my heart, I just get blood pooling at the bottom of my legs. It's like my heart rate just doesn't get it back up unless I'm running. Sounds like it might have something to do with your heart problem. What heart problem? See you in about 3 hours or so.
Oh, mate.
We had a splendid night with some very lovely people here. I was sad to see the back of it, but some more ferocious stomping was fiercely calling me. A little tickle in my back was beginning to become a concern. However, I needed to compose myself if I were to blast out another 70k today. As I hit road in the early AM, the local villagers that I just said my goodbyes to were fixated with the boys back at camp, filming my devastating toe taps from up above. Even with the severity of the pain in my back beginning to become progressively more and more excruciating, I still managed to shuffle myself to the first stop of the day.
First 30 in a bag, how's the back holding up?
It's not good, I can't lie. So stiff, mate. Just like getting shooty pains all the time. It's quite painful, I can't lie.
So you're scheduled to arrive back in the UK, what, February, March time? What's going to happen with Nelly?
She won't be road legal, that's the thing. No charge, just getting through an MOT these days. She might have to die a little death. Might put the chassis in the garden and make it a little dent.
Are you like much of a sentimental person?
Mate, everything I own is on this trip. I have nothing at home. I don't have a home in the UK. I don't have any material items that have sentiment value.
Does it even feel like that day is going to come, being so like, so engulfed in this mission?
It's nice to think about it sometimes, just to kind of like, feels like you always escape the mission for like half an hour and then you come back and you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Still in Nigeria. Right.
Refueled on plantain chips, Huel and Perfect Ted, I headed back out there for round God knows what against the African Asphalt Association. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but stomping through this desert was a ginger workhorse named Russell. Meanwhile, James and Gus were up to their usual shenanigans. Today, getting amongst it with some Nigerian ultras. Things were serious. We, the Blues, were 1-0 down. Finally, our winger found some space down the left flank and finished his dinner like a prime Okocha to restore the scoreline back to stalemate. Absolute scene. 1-1. Wasn't enough though. Both teams were throwing hammer and tong to have the local bragging rights. We gave everything. A represent shirt? What's the polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? 2-1 up in the dying embers. The crowd went wild. What a comeback. What a match. After a truly miserable day on tarmac, inhaling black smoke and getting run off the road by moody gobshot lorries, it was over to Stan and Jamie to cheer me up. It was their job to get me and the boys some naughty scram for our dinner. Over to you, lads.
How excited are you for Domino's, man?
I'm not yet. I'm excited about the possibility. It feels like being somewhere very strange. An alien land or something.
There it is. 5 people alive. It smells good.
With the Domino's secured, there was only one thing left to do.
Oh, that looks good if you ask me.
It does, Steve. Go on, let's have it.
Oh my god, it tastes like actual Domino's.
Does it actually?
Look at his face.
Look at that.
Mate, that's the view Domino's.
Holy s***.
First ride back in Nelly today. How was that?
Excellent. Loved every second of it.
You stepped in the van this morning and said, this is traumatic for me.
This van is f***ed. Got 6 hours sleep. My watch said I got a recovery score. A readiness score of 4 out of 100 for the day again. But it's alright, I had 2 cans of Perfect Ted this morning to make up for it. You know, like the hashtag science on how sleep works is that for every hour of sleep you miss, if you have a can of Perfect Ted, then it equalises out.
So now you would have had like 16 hours sleep because you had 2.
Exactly, bro. Yeah.
4 out of 100.
See about that.
We'll see about that. Right.
All right, mate.
See you in a bit, lad.
It's a new dawn and a new day, but truth be told, I was in a 12-round squat with my lower back already. One moment we were great, the next my muscles were spasming all over the show. Regardless of my feelings, more Nigerian roads needed kissing by Hoka rubber. With the pain surmounting rapidly, I began to walk. Luckily, I was handed some fighting spirit from these local warriors. I managed to rekindle some sort of jogging movement to the lads waiting for me at my first stop.
Yo.
Yo, geese.
How's it going, mate?
Good, you?
Anyone heard from Gus? Because I have not seen any cars on the road today.
Do you want to explain this, because we've not spoken about it?
There's some political movement in this city where they've started doing this thing called stay at home Mondays. I mean, it does what it says on the tin. You got to stay at home. You can't drive anywhere.
What are we doing?
Just driving everywhere. We've got places to be and people to see, do you know what I mean?
Who are we going to see?
I'm going to see a bartender in Tunisia.
Nice.
Yeah. Isn't it just like hilarious though, how like, it's like, stomach feels shit, bum I was a bit flapping, got this acid reflux, and I open this up, I'm like, yeah, this is my lunch. I'm doing the risk assessment in my head live as we speak. The engine light's flashing, do you know what I mean?
So what exactly is flashing to you?
What's flashing to me is, firstly, the weight of it. It is like 6 kilos this week, so it's extremely dense. And then I'm looking at the quantity of meat in this thing, exceptional. Not a fan of cold chips, but also just like the meat looks mostly okay, but it does look like it's been there for, my range of guessing would be 2 to 4 days. The main warning light is that James ate this exact same thing yesterday and shit himself, so.
The burden of evidence ain't looking great, I can't lie.
With my stomach full to the brim on multiple protein sources, I had extra spring in my step, but it didn't last for long.
Mine's getting looked at, to be fair. Don't know what to do with it, man. It's getting worse. Just getting shooting pain all at the top of my leg now, and top of my legs, hips. Oh.
Anything Gus just told you, I want to hear it again.
He just said, how are you this morning?
How are you this morning?
And I said,
is that piss?
oh yeah, it is, yeah.
Mate, you're 4 steps away from having a piss.
I just did that when it was light this morning. Because I was like, can't piss in their front garden, can I?
I suppose.
Bit rude.
Any sort of mileage plan, recovery-wise?
60, I think, is reasonable.
Body really doesn't like you pushing to 70, does it?
Yeah, every time I do it, something mental happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, last time you pissed blood again, and now your back's like, nope.
Feel like my spine just needs pulling.
How's this working out for you, lad?
Stan and Gus dropped me back off from where I decided I was causing more harm than good on yesterday's run. Today, however, was a brand new one, and I decided that I was going to make it count. 60 Ks on the menu, let's have it.
Do you want to sit down for a bit and have a think?
Yeah.
Is your back, yeah?
Yeah, it's lower back, like, it feels like there's some kind of nerve thing going on there. I know it's a problem, I know it's quite a big problem. It's not just like I'll keep running and hope for the best kind of thing.
You know, the nerve is probably not there for nothing. Like, probably if you're gonna keep on doing what you're doing, you might be walking towards an operation and losing mobility in your back for permanent.
That doesn't sound very good.
Doesn't sound great.
Do you reckon I could hold it out for like another 100 days?
What, and be paralysed for the rest of your life?
Worth it.
Fucking worth it.
How does walking feel like?
It doesn't feel good either, mate, I can't lie. There will be times, if I rotate in the wrong way, sometimes it'll be fine, and then sometimes I'll rotate in that same way and it'll be f***ed. It'll be like completely jar my entire body. It almost like my whole body's stuck, do you know what I mean?
It's about 3 hours on from when last we spoke. What's happened in that time?
Spoken to a few people from the UK. I think it's going to be alright.
Okay.
Most likely the muscles around the back and lower, and like my legs, hamstrings, glutes have got really tight, hip flexors got really tight, and like they just pull things tighter, which like moves the pelvis and your posture around. Then you go and bang that into tarmac for countless hours, days on day, then it just starts doing mad shit. That's why I'm getting weird feelings in my legs and lower back and all these kind of things. There's no quick term fix other than reduce damage and increase recovery. More stretching over the next week and less mileage probably. But it makes a lot of sense because I've got food poisoning, so my body was already really depleted, but I carried on going. Then we went up into the mountains, didn't have enough food really for about 2 weeks, so my body was in a big calorie deficit. Then I started going through mad elevation gain. Then I came back down from the elevation gain, the temperature went up to about 40 degrees. Then I decided to up mileage, and during all of that time I wasn't sleeping.
Why weren't you sleeping well?
Me and Gus crammed in the same bed, which probably isn't ideal for sleep, to be honest with you. And then you chuck James in there as well, 3 man. That's, you know, a bit tight squeeze. So that's definitely not going to be a good recipe for C.
And if it isn't this muscle thing, which I think it probably is, but if it isn't, then what could it be?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a disc problem, this is what the woman said to me earlier. She was like, all that advice I've just given you about stretching and stuff will make the disc issue worse. And the only real way to get through the rest of the mission with a skeletal disc problem is just to painkiller the f out of it and like literally teetotal my body and probably never walk again.
What's the plan? How far are you going to run, walk?
20k, I think. Alrighty, see you later.
Best of luck, mate.
With some newfound very slim hope after speaking with some physios, I went back out on road one last time. Genuinely, I've never felt the mission be more in jeopardy than it is right here. Regardless, I got back to it. I couldn't run, but I could walk.
Ramadan. Bang bang.
Can we just get you looking down the camera and say, please, boys and girls, don't try this at home?
No.
Do you recommend it?
Back one day? Maybe you'll need some of this too. What's that noise then? That sounds like a f***ing bombing siren, doesn't it?
Bodes well. We've heard quite a few gunshots in Nigeria, so maybe it's just some dudes about to f*** up. I don't know.
Do you know what I was thinking about? I was like, I'm actually quite, especially in this specific scenario, I'm quite a hard person to diagnose because there's multiple things wrong with me at baseline already. My muscles are all tight and f***ed up anyway. That might be a problem, it might just be part of a bigger problem, and no, it's hard to kind of know. So I don't really know what to do, mate, to be honest. I mean,